I want to start by talking about writing. There's a technique that I try to live by as a writer, and that's show, don't tell. There's one way of doing it where you can just tell someone a story, but I think it's much more powerful when you show your story and let the audience interpret it the way that they want to based on the actions, thoughts, nuance, senses, subtext that speaks louder than dialogue. Making your characters fully developed and three-dimensional is also equally as important. I try to be really careful not to judge my characters as I write them. That doesn't mean that they have to be good people. Like Walter White, we all love him, and he's turned out to be a terrible person. I guess that's debatable, but they have to still be relatable on some human level. And a really fun tool to use to develop characters is props. Their relationship to specific props can tell you a lot about their personality. I think Milton Stapler told us everything we needed to know about his character in Office Space, which is also, I learned in college, the perfectly written script, Office Space. And above all else, I really believe that you should write what you know and be honest. A lot of film festivals told me that a short film over 15 minutes was going to be hard to program, but my story took 20 minutes to tell. And I really believe that you have to tell the story that only you can tell. And it's really important to know the rules before you break them. And that doesn't mean you have to go to film school to make a movie. I didn't, but it helps to know the rules so that you can break them and still make it work. So, talking more about directing, it's all about collaboration, and great actors bring really great choices to the table. So, as a director, I try really hard not to come in too strong with my ideas before I hear their opinions first, because a lot of the times their opinions are better than mine. And my sound guy actually chose the ending to one of my films because he had better ideas than anything that I could come up with. It's my job as a director to make sure the actors are listening to each other. It makes for genuine responses, and a really fun technique for this is keeping secrets from them. So, for example, the director in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe actually kept the set of Narnia secret from Little Lucy before he filmed her entering Narnia for the first time, so that he could get her genuine response to it, and I think that's brilliant. It's important to allow yourself time to get inspired by your surroundings. What you can't see is Steve. He's our quadricopter. He films aerial footage for us because why not? I think it's important not to limit your vision. So something else that I find really fascinating is when you don't answer every question in your script. When you leave moments open-ended and you leave some plot points a little undefined, it gets people talking about your film and it allows each audience member to have a different experience. I had the opportunity to meet Katie Sackhoff, who played Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. And I had to ask her what happened at the end of the show. What happened to your character? Was she an angel? Did she die? What happened? And she said, I don't know, the writers won't tell me. So I think that that's a brilliant way. If she can't make that choice and just plays the script, then we get to make our own opinions and debate them forever. Moving into production, I really try to make sure that everything that's in the frame is purposeful. This was a piece set in the early 1900s, and there's the steps to the hot tub in the background. That doesn't always work out. Being creative and thrifty with your sets is really a necessity when you don't have a lot of money. So I've found that hotels and schools are a great place to film because there are lots of locations rolled into one, and they have bathrooms. This is actually a teacher's lounge that we turned into a swanky bar so we didn't have to move locations. Fake anything that's dangerous because, one, it's not worth it. And two, you really want your cast and crew to feel safe when they're on your set. So Dave here is making a replica of an axe so that our actors could run through the woods like crazy people and not feel like they were in danger. Yeah, okay. You have to be prepared for every disaster. The This can come in the form of lawnmowers, parties, getting caught breaking the law, or this nice guy who rode up on his ATV into our shot. Absolutely none of this is going to be possible without a really solid cast and crew. In my experience, independent filmmaking is not glamorous, and so you really have to have a cast and crew that are willing to get dirty, wear lots of hats, and have a good attitude while you do it. Which leads me to why I do this in the first place. I love movies. I love them. They make me think about the world in a different way, and I know that I've seen a really good movie when I'm still thinking about it the next morning when I wake up. And on set, there's so much imagination and so much creativity that no 2 days are the same. One day, you could be chasing zombie Nazis through the woods. That was fun. And the next day, you could be setting Andy on fire. I mean, you just never know, and I think that to me, is the real luxury of true independent filmmaking, which is no one else is calling the shots for you. And yes, that means that your film is going to be shot on a shoestring budget, and your mom's probably going to make the craft services, but it's your film, and you own it. And when I wrapped my very first independent film, Jeff said to me, the crazy thing is when you get in your car and drive home alone and think to yourself, all of this happened because you had an idea. And that's why I choose, as someone who is in this business for the fun of it, to measure the success of my films based on how much heart you put into the script, how much fun you have with your cast and crew on set, and how proud you are of the final product. Thank you.